This is Troy Perry, just your average guy doing things on YouTube. Today I'm going to polish this bat for my buddy's son. It's a Flying Tiger 26-inch T-ball bat. It's made out of pure aluminum, and we are going to polish it up today and give it back to him and hope he enjoys it.
I want to get that off. I'm just going to use some 3M general purpose adhesive cleaner here. And I'm just going to spray it on. I guess it's got a lot of alcohol in it or something, but it melts that glue pretty good. So I'm just going to leave it set there for a minute, and you can see it's already starting to work. It just melts that glue, and you just got to rub it off. So I usually like to let it sit for a few minutes, go to work, and then I'll come back and get it all cleaned up. All right, I used my 3M general purpose adhesive cleaner. I got all the glue off of the handle. We are ready now to work on the barrel of the bat and start actually using a tool. This tool is a metal resurfacing conditioning tool. This one's made by Clutch. Got it over at Northern Tool. 149 bucks. Came with 3 drums. This one is a brush, and that's a soft metal brush. It's not a steel brush. Came with a 240 pad and also a much more abrasive pad as well, drum. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start with the 240 Renatec that I got. This is a blended. It does have sandpaper in it along with the brush. I'm going to try that out first and see if we can't start getting some of this paint off of it. I really like this design, and had this been a new bat, I probably would have kept that shark's head. I probably would have taped over it or something just to keep from messing that up. But since it's all chipped up, we're going to go ahead and just burn this one on down to a nice polished aluminum. Now don't worry, if you saw me making these long strokes like this, it does leave it pretty scratched up. It's going to look like brushed aluminum right now, but when I finish this, we'll go in a circular pattern this way, and that'll take all that out. Once we start to buff, and you're going to be amazed at how this is going to look. It does get dusty. I want to make sure you wear some good breathing apparatus. Now when I'm using my vise here, once I get down to polishing and have to start flipping it back and forth, I'll start wrapping this before I put it in the vise. Right now, I'm not too concerned about it. Plus I've got these plastic holders in here, and they're meant to hold a round object for me, just like this is doing now. And I'm just gonna get, nice tug, snug fit. Doesn't have to be crazy. Just want it, so it's like a third hand. Wow, that is considerably better. This bat was pulled out of my buddy's yard, and the kids they're all older, obviously not playing t-ball anymore. They're just about to be teenagers, most of them. And so they've been hitting rocks with this thing and everything else. So trying to bring back some of it's going to be a little difficult. That ding's probably never going to come out. Some of these others are doing okay. Some of it I just don't think I'm going to get out. That's okay. We've done a really good job here getting they get a little warm. This is a little warm in my hand right now. But I mean, look at the end of this is very, very different than it was before. You can tell all the paint's gone now. We're gonna end up with a really nice looking polished bat at the end. This is nice and weighted too. This is actually a really good little bat. I think it's a 26-inch bat, I think is what it was. Let's see. Yep, 26-inch bat, sure enough. All right, I'm moving over to a 240 without the sandpaper in it now. You're gonna pretty quickly start to see a real difference here. Still gonna leave some scratch marks in it, but definitely a lot. It starts the polishing effect. Got an old piece of leather here. And what I'll do is now that I'm starting to, even though it's still got a bunch of dings and stuff in it, I can't help that. I don't want to add any more to it that I have to polish out later. So just a nice leather wrap around that. And then I'll get a good grip on it.
Irritating.
All right, we've made it all the way around. I'm indexing here on my 4. There's a number here stamped in. Every barrel I've seen has something stamped here. So I'm indexing on that to know that I've made my full rotation. So I'm going to switch over now to a 320.
You're really starting to see luster come.
One thing you want to be really careful to do, these are really sharp edges here. I should probably do something about that. But if you touch this after you've got, especially if you got a little bit warm, I think, but if you hit this with these sharp, you're going to have a line you got to get it back out of it again, and that really kind of sucks. So now you should be able to see the difference between that 320 and that 240. It's really starting to get those lines out of it now. All right, we're going to switch over to a 400 now.
Now we'll do top end and 400.
All right, 600 grit. All right, we're done with the buffer. Now I'm gonna dial in super close on this because this is where some really cool stuff happens, in my opinion. I'm using Chromit Super Polish. It is good for aluminum, brass, stainless steel, gold and silver, diamond plate, headlights, and chrome. But I'm gonna use the lesser soft end, I guess. And I just double it up here a couple times. Put a decent amount on here, and then I'm gonna get it nice and wet with this, and then I'm just gonna start to rub it down. When you see it start to get dark, it means it's working. When I show you this rag here in a second, you're like, what? So that's got a nice dark look to it. That means we are getting it. Look at that. Look how much aluminum came off of that. Now, take this thing, turn it over. Make sure I got a nice tight grip here. And we'll start buffing it down. You can start to see that luster come out of it. Down. You really can't do this too much. The more you do it, I guess there's a stopping point to all of it, but when you really start to see though. Now, the trick is you say, well, man, it's a lot of work. What happens when this tarnishes and you gotta do it all over again? Well, it's not really hard, but the thing you want to think about is, and actually I didn't hit this end cap very well with the 600 because it's not somewhat. All right. Well, we know what we had to begin with, and we know what we have now. Pretty stark contrast. Making sure we don't scratch it taking it out of the vise. Now I'm gonna have to do some stuff by hand here. That's just a little recess, so it's hard to get to, but man, does the rest of that lot. That's that 4 I was telling you about right there. Looking good. Oh, and to keep from having to polish this all the time, we're just going to hit it with some clear and let it dry. First, I'll spray an adhesive to it. That adhesive, paint adhesive, let that dry. It'll dry clear, and then I'll clear it with, again, with the, I'll show you. So here's your adhesion promoter that I'm going to use on this, Bulldog adhesion promoter. And then you can get the clear at Lowe's or wherever. I've got this. This actually has a hardener in it. I got it for some other stuff I'm going to do for my truck project, but this is really, really good clear. But you can use regular clear. I mean, this is a baseball bat. It's got a bunch of dings in it. No point in using a super expensive can of clear on it. All right, well, that's it. Average guy doing average things, polishing baseball bats. Pretty fun stuff. I don't know.
If you like what you saw here today, just go ahead and subscribe, smash that like button, come back and check out some of the rest of our videos.